Kushegu camp in northern Ghana. 70 women live in these huts in seclusion, all accused of witchcraft and rejected by their communities. Among them is Selamatu, who arrived here 10 years ago.
Someone fell ill and the village blamed me. It was someone who had mental health issues and went mad. I was beaten up, and his family said they never wanted to see me in the village again, that if they saw me here again, they would kill me. It was hard to leave my family. I cried a lot, and so did my children. For the first 2 years, I thought constantly about my life in the village, but now I've gotten used to the camp.
While Salamatu has been separated from her kids, there are many young children in the camp. Most of their families can't afford to send them to school. Tolerated but not welcomed by the local population, it is almost impossible for mothers to find work in the surrounding villages. So on this day, as they often do, Salamatu and a group of women walk several kilometres to look for food.
In my village, I had a farm where I grew okra. I could grow and sell my vegetables. Here it's hard to find food.
The sellers in this wholesale market let people collect the grains that have fallen out of their bags, or those which are no longer good for sale.
Today there's nothing left to collect. And the seeds are muddy because it rained last night. Look at what we got today. How are we going to eat with this?
Around 500 women live in the 4 informal camps that have existed for just over a century in the north of the country. Barnabas and his organisation are trying to help them.
If you fight among yourselves, people will say that you are violent, and that is why you were driven out of your communities. Now that you are here, you need to be at peace with one another.
Above all, his work aims to bring these women home.
Hello, how are you? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to go. A neighbour helped me with the luggage.
At 82, Nyagme is on her way home. After several trips to her village, Barnabas managed to convince her community to let her return.
I have lived in this hut for over 20 years, and it is a relief to leave. I am very weak and can no longer cook for myself, and if I die here, far from home, it will be a problem. Another woman from my family will be sent to the camp.
Some communities believe that if a witch dies far from her home, she'll pass on her powers to another woman in her family upon her death. But for Barnabas, more and more women are allowed to return home, thanks to a change of mentality.
2 years ago, there were about 100 plus, but because we are sending them home, they are now left with 70 of them here. Because we are educating the people, now they think it to be easy. The way they were accusing the women is now reducing.
Nyagme had one child, a man who is now blind, before she became a widow. She says her son's condition made her guilty in the eyes of her community.
They accused me for no reason. I had a brother who took care of me, but since he died, I'm useless to the community. In my ethnic group, if you have no children or few children, you're always accused of something.
After years of separation, her son and daughter-in-law welcome her back. She also meets some of her great-grandchildren for the first time.
It's a big day, your mother's return.
God helped me. Now I'm safe, and I'll be able to take care of my grandchildren.
The family that had expelled her 20 years ago still believes that Nyagme is a witch, but they no longer have the approval of the village chief. His support was crucial for Niagme's return.
When I first came to see you, you told me to wait, not to bring her back right away. Then you told me that the village had accepted her return. Today, as the village chief, I entrust her to you.
It wasn't good for her to stay in Gushwegu. She was too old. That's why we agreed to her return. It's fine. I promise you nothing will happen to her.
But not everyone is so lucky. In Ghana, accusations of witchcraft can be deadly. Akua Denteh was 90 years old when she was targeted by dozens of people in her village. 5 years later, her son speaks out.
They went and took my mother from her house and went to a distance. When everybody gathered and they were telling him that he should confess that he's a witch, then he said she's not a witch. Either they will kill her or she doesn't have anything, why she will confess that she's a witch. So during that court, they started assaulting her, beating her.
An assault, then a murder filmed and broadcast on social media. 2 years later, the only two attackers visible in the video were sentenced to 12 years in prison. This was the first, and still the only, conviction for crimes involving accusations of witchcraft.
So many women, all women were beaten in that town, in that village. It was not our mother alone. There were many, you see. But when this case came, they were afraid, so they wasn't able to come out and say, I was beaten. They were afraid of the village people there. Because when they say it, maybe they will be, later on, they will accuse them.
The shockwave caused by the death of the 90-year-old woman, followed by the trial, brought accusations of witchcraft to the forefront of public debate. MP Francis Xavier Sosu then introduced a bill to criminalise accusations of witchcraft. The bill also provided compensation for victims and funded the reintegration of those living in camps.
It's just a narrative meant to target women and to just, treat them badly, you know. So I think that narrative must change, but it will change with a change in the law. We are not going to take away your right to think there is a witchcraft or there is no witchcraft, because we have freedom of thought, as is guaranteed by our Constitution. However, the law is criminalizing the act of you positively accusing another person of being a witch.
The law was passed by Parliament in 2023, but the then President, Nana Akufo-Addo, refused to sign it, preventing its enactment. But the fight continues for MP Sosu, and he believes the bill is closer to being signed since he left the opposition and joined the majority. In July, he took part in the commemoration of the 5th anniversary of Akua Denteh's death, organised by a collective of associations.
For social causes, we don't give up. If you go and they say no, you go again. So you keep knocking until we get the bill passed. And now we had over 9 members of parliament who were ready to support the bill as a private bill. And we did the initiation. But since we now have the buy-in of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, and the Minister, I am very sure that before this year ends, we are going to have an anti-witchcraft bill. I am very, very confident.
A hope that is reinforced by the presence at this event of the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. This is the first time that a member of the current government has publicly denounced accusations of witchcraft.
Today, as we gather to commemorate this tragic loss, we do so not only to honor her memory, but to confront the uncomfortable truth about the violence that continues to plague our communities. This is not merely a regional problem, but a national crisis that demands our immediate and sustained attention.
But the topic remains sensitive in Ghana, as the president of the Coalition Against Witchcraft Accusations explains.
There's a strong belief in witchcraft in Ghana, especially in the rural areas. And even in the cities, there are some of the chiefs, they believe in it. Some of the police believe in it. Some doctors believe in it. And so the president who refused to sign, it was also because he was afraid that if he signs it into law, they will lose their votes.
So activists are marching symbolically to the presidential palace to call on the current head of state, John Mahama. Among them is Salami, the son of Akua Denteh. Since his mother's death, the coalition estimates that at least 7 other women have lost their lives, lynched, in similar circumstances. No one has been brought to justice.
I feel grateful for my mother. What I've seen today, I'm very, very grateful. Justice should be done. If justice is done, the youth will be scared. Will be scared. If they have been sent to prison, the youth will be scared from doing that.
If enacted, MP Sosu's bill will also provide for the eventual closure of witch camps in the north of the country. The hope for a better life and for justice to be served for the thousands of women accused of witchcraft.